Greetings, Wilkinson here. Today my guest is James Maillet. We've been friends since, when did we meet? What year?
I think it was around maybe 2016,
2016?
2015, 2016, something like that.
Somewhere on there. So it's been, 8 or 9 years? Huh. Say hi to my peeps.
Hello, peeps of Wilkinson.
So we met in Seattle. He was with his ex-girlfriend.
Right.
No name or name? I don't know. Nah. Ex-girlfriend, ex.
Right.
So I met them on couch surfing. They were on, what were you on, a 3 or 4 month trip or something like that?
Yeah.
Road trip.
Yeah. I'm thinking 4, 5, 6 range. I don't really know how long it took, but
anyway, so you came to me on couch surfing. We hit it off.
Mm-hmm.
Your girlfriend talked you into doing a photo shoot.
She sure did.
You were naked.
I was.
You look great.
As was she. Somewhat. Partially clad.
She didn't do many photos. She had you doing them.
That's
She
true.
was kind of orchestrating it a bit.
That was poured out. Yeah.
It was worth it. They were great photos. My fans love them.
I bet.
I posted a few of them recently on Twitter on my photography account. And in a little over 2 weeks, you got 1.4 million views on it.
Not too shabby.
So they like that. I think you should go into do it just for fans or something. Make some money off this stuff. Sell it where you got it, baby.
Yeah. we can circle back to that one.
Anyway, so we were in Seattle. We were together all of us for a while. We had other couch surfers there, of course. And then she went back to LA and you stayed for a while because you were going to bartending school or something like that?
Yeah. We kind of tried the whole live on the road thing. And we'd started down in San Diego and we're working our way up the coast with the ultimate goal of kind of being Vancouver. And that was cut short a little bit. She had to go back. And then I was kind of trying to find odd jobs. So I was thinking, event bartending, maybe find, part-time gig throughout the week, that kind of thing. So I had to do one of these bar school classes for like a week straight and then just trying to make some money on the side.
Have you considered Palm Springs gay parties, naked bartender? You make money.
No, I haven't. That I hadn't.
You should do that.
That's a good back pocket. Yeah.
There you go. You never know. So you guys split up a while ago.
Right. Still friends.
So what's going on? You went into banking.
I did, yeah. I toiled away for the better part of a decade, kind of working a job that I really hated. At the end of the day, hadn't really realized it until, call it, 7 years into the game when I started going to therapy, figuring out where the bodies were buried. And I just, I realized that I was kind of going down the same path as my dad went down. And that's a whole side story, but, it just it wasn't fulfilling. It was really just, I found it as a really hollow existence, and everything was in the pursuit of more and, creating material wealth. And, I didn't know a lot of people that were super happy. I think a lot of people had convinced themselves that they were happy
because they were making money and et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Yeah. And there's also, the house, wife, kids, dog, second house, all that, whatever, that people just either became that they thought they wanted, didn't want it, but were stuck, or they became addicted to, or whatever.
Right.
But I just found it to be a painfully boring, high stress environment. And so I was doing that for a while, and now I'm deciding to kind of cut the cord.
So you got a hold of me recently and you said, hey, I'm just quit my job.
Yes, exactly. I am currently unemployed. I'd done well over my career and saved up and had a lot of things kind of go my way. And so I have the privilege of being able to just kind of say no. I don't have a wife, kids, current girlfriend, anything like that. Not even a lot of material stuff. I threw away a lot of my stuff just yesterday and the day before and kind of packed up the car and I'm hitting the road. And so the plan here is, I guess to start, I wanted to come out and see you because I know that you'd had a lot of evolutions in life.
Right.
And this is definitely my second big one. I kind of did this. I moved abroad when I was younger. I didn't really have a lot of direction right after school. That set me on a path. And then I was on that path for kind of too long. And now I'm trying to create a new story.
Where are you going to go?
So after I see you today, I'm gonna head.
Which our 3 days got condensed to one.
Right.
Things happen.
Yes. Anybody who's
Trying to
moved
clear out your place.
knows that it takes much longer than you anticipate. Yeah.
But
you know,
it's great seeing you.
yeah, it's great seeing you too. It's great seeing you too. And it was tough saying goodbye to my tribe back in LA. You know, I had a lot of stuff, a lot of extracurricular, a lot of people I'd worked with that I enjoyed, and you know, that became good friends and roommates and stuff like that. And it's tough, but I know it's tough, so that means it's worth it.
Right.
But anyway, so the plan is to I'm going to start with kind of a little ski safari here, snowboard safari up the Rockies. I'm going to head up to Salt Lake City, and then I actually have a bachelor party in Jackson Hole this weekend, which is going to be awesome. And that's with a bunch of childhood friends, so it's going to be great to see them on the way out. And
They're from Chicago?
Yeah, group in Chicago. So to get them as part of the tail end here is actually really special, you know, so I get to see kind of both groups of friends, the LA and Chicago guys. And so after that, my ultimate goal is to head up to Alaska, and by way of, you know, call it, you know, the Rockies north into Canada, then west to Vancouver, and then on a boat up, all with my old 98 4Runner that's retrofitted for, you know, the zombie apocalypse. I'm going to go up there and look for work in the commercial fishing industry and try and get on a salmon boat or a red crab boat. It's all kind of a southern Alaska season right now. It's not the deadliest catch kind of crazy stuff that I think a lot of people's minds go to. Those jobs are kind of impossible to get. But, you know, everything I've heard, that it's super hard work. It's long hours. You make a good bit of money. And I've always wanted to get up there. So that's the immediate goal.
Boats. You had a boat incident, a couple of years ago, right? What happened with that? Tell that.
Oh, boy.
That was like insane.
Oh, yeah.
By a week.
So I was pretty avid in scuba diving when I lived I lived in downtown LA, and then I lived on the west side. And so when I was downtown, I got linked up with these guys in K-Town. And a lot of them were ex-military divers, kind of the conscription thing over there. And so they, you know, I basically leveled up pretty quickly working with them. I would go diving every weekend. We would do kind of these fun dives out either to Catalina, to the dive park, or go out to the Channel Islands. And back in, I think it was maybe 2019, something like that.
It's been that long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Implies.
Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe 20?
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. But you'll be able to find it if you look for it. So we had a boat trip that was going to leave out of Santa Barbara Harbor and go to San Miguel Island, which was kind of one of the last islands in the channel there. And they, you know, we went out. We did 3 dives. You get on the boat in the morning, call it like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It takes you a few hours to get out there. Everybody sleeps below deck. And by the time everybody's kind of ready to roll, it's like, call it 8 a.m. and you start your dives. And you know, it's pretty seamless. Kind of like anything else. It's open water, so it's not, you know, it's not a dive park. It's not near shore, and you're out there. And you know, our dive went well, but what I learned was, and it's not funny at all, but it's very, you know, it's
so sobering.
It's just, yeah, it's sobering, and it's weird. What I learned was that same boat, the Conception, did the exact same boat trip the next weekend. And while everybody was asleep, aside from a few crew members and the captain, there was a fire that started, and it killed nearly everybody on board, and the boat sank to the bottom of the channel. So pretty weird. Yeah.
Like 1 week. Wow.
Yeah. And
that makes you look at your life, huh?
Yeah. That was one.
Was that a piece of the, I want to get out of the banking biz? Did that crossover or not?
I don't think I'd soured on it as much as I did up until recently. And I guess we can kind of go into that. But, you know, it was definitely a wake-up call of like, you know, I kind of lived fast and loose for a long time, whether it be, you know, racing bikes down hills or diving every weekend or whatever. Just, you know, it was sobering for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you weren't there a week before. Or a week after, I mean.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty wild.
Well, let's pop up to the photo shoot. How did you feel? So, did your girlfriend talk you into being naked in that shoot, or what?
You know,
or did you want to do it?
I think some of me wanted to do it. I think part of that road trip was to kind of say yes to everything and be on the wacky adventure.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, when you had offered, I remember when we were initially messaging about us staying with you,
Right.
on my couch surfing profile, there were pictures of us at Burning Man that year. And you were like, gosh, I love your, you said something effective. I love your costumes. I would love to photo you. Little did I know that was a loaded comment. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, okay, I'm a photographer. Here are some of my books. And then I pick up the books and I realize that they're all nude male coffee table books. And I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. And so, you know, I mean, to her credit, I think, you know, there was maybe a little bit of a nudge there, but I think it was more that I wanted to try it and do something that was just totally outside my bandwidth at the time.
It was a fabulous shoot, of course, right?
Yes, of course. Utmost professionalism. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it was. So those were some good pictures, I'll tell you. Right. So when I post some of your photos, of course, a lot of my audience is gay, and they go, "Oh, the guy's gay," but you're not gay. You're straight.
That's true. This is true.
Have you ever been gay?
Just once. Just
really?
Once. Yeah.
Are you gay once?
I was gay once.
What'd you do?
I don't even. You
weren't
call it gay. You'd call it bi-curious, I guess. I don't know. It was. I was out at a bar one night, and a guy kind of caught my fancy, and we started making out. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, as I say, there's hope then.
Yeah, no, but it, you know, for me, I think it was a, you know, it's kind of a weird phrase, but don't knock it till you try it. You know, I don't want to belittle anything about sexuality, but for me, it was more just, you know, I hadn't had the experience and the opportunity was there. So I decided to take the opportunity and see where it took me. But I would say, you know, I think it kind of stopped at didn't go beyond that. So I think it was the physical connection maybe that I was lacking. I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah.
Did you like it at the time?
At the time, sure. And then I guess I just.
How many seats to the wind were you? Were you drunk?
2.5.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So they say all straight guys are gay 6 beers later.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's the extent of it, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still going to hold out hope, you know?
Sure thing.
Okay. You got to tell me about those French guys when you go to France.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I know we're jumping around and I don't care. So anyway, so you're going to go to Alaska and then what?
So, you know, I guess like anything with traveling, unless you have an itinerary, it can kind of go left and right.
But you're not going to have one.
No, I think that's the beauty.
Point.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this is I have a broad, you know, call it outline itinerary, but nothing set in stone. I don't even have a job up there, you know.
Oh, you'll get one. I would suggest that you not wear a shirt where you go apply for your job.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the reception.
Maybe get a nice gay captain that'll go. What do we have here?
Yeah, the USS Love Boat. Yeah.
So what after Alaska? Then what? I mean, and your rough outline. Then what happens?
My rough outline is going to be going down to South America after that.
To do what?
Have not been down there. I'm going to kind of try and keep the party going with the snowboarding and try and get either a lifty job or an instructor job down there, as well as just, you know, if that doesn't work out, just be able to travel. You know, it's cheap. It's
So what countries are you going to go to?
Absolutely Argentina and Brazil. Those are 2 places I've wanted to go for a long time. I hear great things about Colombia, Uruguay, Paraguay, you know.
What? Just as an aside, if you're going to go back to the gay thing, those are great countries. If you want to try anything,
I'm sensing a theme here.
I mean, those guys with the green eyes. Come on.
Sure, they do have some good mix down there, some good hybrids.
There you go.
Yeah. So after that, though, you know, that season is basically, you know, call it June through September. After that, I have a French friend. I was actually out in Europe for the Rugby World Cup this season, and he used to play on the team out in LA that I played for, and he allowed us to stay at his castle, which was a new one for me. It was very Saltburn vibes.
Wait, where was this at?
It was in France. It was in Chanzu, out west.
Wow.
Yeah. So we basically got
when was this?
This was this summer. Yeah. It was
really?
like September, I think.
The rugby guys were there?
Yeah.
Cool.
It was funny, man. I was watching a Bourdain episode. I think he was in Burgundy. and there's no reservations. And he basically did all the same stuff that we did. And I just sat there and I was like, oh my God, we basically lived in a Travel Channel show for 2 weeks. It was insane. It was crazy. Yeah.
Right.
So anyways, you're gonna try and, work his contacts. He said he knows people out there and, the kind of the vineyard business. And so I'm going to go out there.
Have you done that before?
I've not, no. And that's kind of the theme here is like, these are just various little odd jobs. It doesn't have to be a high paying job. I just want to get out there and like experience different cultures and meet different people. And what better way to do that than just be with the salt of the earth and, just getting your hands dirty.
Right.
And so
I want to like stomp the grapes and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit better than that now. Yeah, exactly. But I want to learn the business and see if it's something that I want to kind of pursue. I've always loved the idea of being in a distillery or a vineyard or something like that, and just kind of see what's entailed on the day to day. So I want to go out there for harvest and help out and see what I can do.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
You're applying after that because I haven't heard anything yet past that.
I have a friend who's going to be in Sri Lanka in November, so maybe India is in the cards after that. I will be in Europe, so that it's going to be a much easier lift than coming from over here or South America. So yeah, that's the rough outline for right now. But there's kind of two sides to that. One, if things just shit the bed or whatever, the best part about traveling is you can always just stop. And then two, who knows what's going to happen amongst all those various little inputs. There could be something that I love and I just stop halfway through, and that's what I'm doing for a while. And
well, if Trump gets back in, you can just say, I think I'll stay here.
Yeah, there's that
wherever
too.
it is, it's got to be better.
Yeah, silly season starting is not anybody's favorite thing, So,
Right.
so being at it, it's funny too. When I did the abroad thing before, it was 2016 election, and it was so funny.
You were at my house.
I remember
when we were at.
Yeah, we were up in Seattle.
Won.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
that was wild. Yeah,
and you didn't, as I recall, you've changed, but you didn't think it was bad that Trump won.
Yeah, I was. I guess I didn't really understand the ramifications from the social side that were going to come down the line. I was also 23 and didn't have a fucking clue about anything, and it was. I guess I was just more in like finance mode, banker mode, and I was like, oh, this is good for the market, whatever. And it's like, that's not everything, dude. Yeah, but it's funny. So it was a little anecdote there. Like I started telling people when I was living in the Middle East, and I started telling people I was from Canada because I wanted to completely avoid the conversation of like,
right,
you guys aren't really going to elect this reality TV guy to your presidency, right? But boy, did we.
And you can't say, oh, it never happened again, because
Right.
it's like just a shit show out there.
It's just defying expectations, unfortunately.
Wow. So James has visited me in Palm Springs here multiple times because he obviously was in LA. So he came a few times with his ex, and then he came a few times without. But one of my favorite memories, do you know what it is? The lockbox story.
Oh, yeah.
So James is in the backyard sunning or doing something out by the pool, and I'm cleaning out my mechanical room, which is basically a big closet access from the back of the house. It has the furnace, the hot water tank, and a bunch of shit, gardening stuff. So I pull everything out of there, and then I look on the wall, and there's a lockbox. James is there, and I go, I said, the guy bought this house from us to put this thing on. It's bolted into the studs. I can't get it off. When I rip it off, it's going to rip half the wall off, and it's a mess. And he goes, I can break it. And he goes, I'll go on the internet and I'll figure out how to do it. So he did. So he spent about 3 hours, and he went on the internet, and he came into the kitchen, and he got my tin snip shear things, whatever they are, out of my toolbox, and we had a tin can, and he cuts the tin can. Do you remember this?
I cut up a beer can or something.
You make little tools to break into the box. So literally, it's 3 hours. I'm like doing something else by this time. I'm in the house. He walks in. He's holding the key that he retrieved out of the box. He broke into it, and he has a big shit smile on his face, and he goes, "I got it." And he goes, I'll make up a number because I don't want to use my real number.
Yeah.
He goes, the number is 4875. And I go, wow, 4875. That's a number I would have used if I would have put the lockbox on. And then I remembered, oh, I put the lockbox on.
God, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
Got 3 hours of nothing.
Yeah,
we're all gonna do it. And it was so funny. He comes in and I go, "Oh no, she's that." that was cool.
Happy to help where I can, Jim.
Yeah. Now Jim
Wilkinson. Sorry, the former Jim.
Well, he knew me when I was Jim, so I have to give him a little slack here.
Yeah.
The hardest thing on my name change, which happened a couple of years ago, just using my last name, is everybody that knows me from before has a really hard time. Some refuse to switch over. Hey, it's my name. Do it. So what else is on your list there that we were going to talk about?
I think we hit on a lot of them. We had a little thing here about maybe talking about how companies are unloyal to
I was going to say that. Yeah, talk about why you wanted to get out of banking and what drove you to the point of saying, I want to live my life and say yes to basically traveling and seeing what's going to happen.
I think to add to what I'd said before, it's just, the I guess the disloyalty. Corporate America is just, I think, securitization has done such bad things to companies and their motives are just so fucked up these days that, it's like, it's great to be a business owner in the Fortune 500, but everybody else's life sucks that, makes you rich, right? And I'm not just like some burn it down type person, but I think working inside, you really realize that nobody cares about you. I mean, they put on this face and they're cordial enough to the point where, you think that they have your back, but when the chips are down, your ass gets burned, And I think I'd worked with some people where it was like, I'm sorry, man, I'm going to put you in front of me as a human shield. And whether it's my ineptitude or not, the fallout's going to be on you. And, I think one of the things that really kind of chapped my ass was I was going to the Rugby World Cup and I'd given, I don't know, like 3 months advance notice of like, we had a team of like 10 people. So, it's decently lean, but not small. And so I was just like, I got this, and this going on. And so then, I send the email like as just a heads up. And then I get a phone call and it was like, hey, this, everything else looks good here, that your little 2 weekend things and your Fridays off and stuff. But this 2 weeks, this 10 work days, I don't know, man, if a deal hits or if something happens and you're not here, that's going to affect you, that's going to affect comp. It's going to affect your bonus. It's going to affect your promotion. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, isn't that why you have a team? Right.
Right.
And so I just totally rubbed me the wrong way. And I was just like, man, these people just do not care. Like, what is PTO then? Right. Like if you guys can't function, I like to think I'm that important. If you guys can't function.
We talked about this. What's PTO?
Paid time off.
Okay.
Like vacation days, right? And,
right.
and if you guys can't function for 10 days, I'm in the wrong place here, right?
Right.
And, it kind of, I don't know if you've had this experience when you go to different countries, especially like Western Europe, and you come back here and you kind of have that like weird haze and you're like, what the fuck am I doing back here? That kind of thing. Right.
I've been to Europe 2 times and it's like, I feel more at home there than here.
Totally. I mean, it's just the lifestyle.
I don't know if it's my former life I was in but it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm so comfortable there.
And then you're in like a fog when you come back for a week,
I liked it. Yeah.
And so I had that on top of the bad taste in my mouth about, getting guff over doing the whole thing. And I was just like, okay.
Were you able to go to it?
I went to it. They also like looped me out of all the emails on the deals that I was working on and all this sorts of weird stuff that was like, isn't this detrimental to the team for me to not have this information? It was just like, what?
So they're trying to do payback. Does it fix
I took it that way. Yeah. I'm sure there's 3 sides to that story, but whatever, so anyways, that was what kind of set me on the path of being like, look, man, if I broke a rule at this company, they wouldn't think twice about the fact that I signed a handbook and I should be fired. So why am I going to be loyal to these people? Why am I going to stick around? Why am I going to stay somewhere that, right. They basically are showing me that they don't care about me. And then when I did quit, it was like a Teams message and then no call from the ultimate boss. And I was just like, strange. So it just proved to me that I'd made the right decision. It was more,
right.
It was more validating than anything, to be honest. It didn't make me feel bad.
Well, I told you I was in banking, Manufacturers and Traders Trust in New York for years. And I get it. They just don't care. You're a number, you're a body, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, how about your experience at your last job, working 2 decades for somebody?
That was real estate, 25 years, same company. I didn't quit because I was mad or anything. I quit because I moved and I was driving through traffic for like an hour every day back and forth, and I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I switched to a real estate company in downtown Seattle, and like, no, let's go out for a wine. No, no goodbye.
Savage.
No gold watch.
Yeah. That went out a long time ago.
It was like, really? 25, I give you 25 years and you can't buy me a drink and say,
that's
good
sickening.
luck. And I left on good terms. It wasn't like I was, anybody was mad or anything. It was just like I left for a legitimate reason. I needed to work closer to where I lived. And it was just bizarre.
Yeah. I think the topic there is just, the disloyalty in each direction. And it's pretty strong.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to most in the next 2 years?
So that 2-year thing, I've kind of thrown that out there as a timeline. I don't know what the
Could be 5.
It could be forever. And, it could be I just settle down in another country and that's it.
You could go to France, figure out you're gay. The guys settle down with a nice young man.
Francois?
I have hope.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And then hook me up with his uncle. You have to promise me to keep your eyes open, though.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, like
I'll keep my ear to the ground for you.
Yeah, 50 to 60. That's
okay.
Not set in concrete. 50 to 60. Dark hair, dark eyes, dark beard. That's what I want.
You got it.
Got to be a nice guy.
You got
to have a sense of humor. You taking notes?
I am. Yeah, I'm on my phone. Yeah.
Okay. So I expect you to hook me up when I come visit you.
Okay. Good deal.
It would be cool to actually see you in France.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So cool.
Yeah. I also have a friend who's going to be going to Oktoberfest as well. If you want to bounce over there, I mean, I know you're not a
Germany
beer guy, but yeah, exactly, Munich. Yeah,
I'm not a beer drinker, so
it's still just it's like the world's party for that week. You know what I mean?
We're like
that's the fun part.
Those suspenders and all.
Lederhosen, yeah, absolutely. That's the pageantry of it all is the fun part.
Yes, they would run screaming if they looked at them. Come on,
just wear your hat and sunglasses. You'll be good to go.
My normal
indoors. Yeah,
there you go. Wow.
But what I'm most looking forward to is the exploration. I think both physically and as well as intrinsically. I think a lot of people talk a big game about wanting to, using the election as a catalyst, right?
Right.
A lot of people were like, Trump wins, I'm moving out of the country, this and that. It's like, how many people really did that, right? And it's
but I'm serious. You know me.
Yeah. I know you're mobile.
I've been looking at Portugal.
Yeah.
And I've never been there.
Which is a beautiful place. Absolutely. Yeah. You would love it there. That's exactly the archetype that you're looking for. And
so many gay guys are moving to Portugal. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. But either way, no. I think the whole thing is just, it's a crazy adventure. And the more people say, man, I wish I could do that.
Right.
Is it's not like I'm seeking validation, but it's nice to hear that everybody's thinking this way,
Right.
And I think, I'm looking at a scenario where I don't have a lot of the tethers that a lot of people do, and I'm trying to take advantage of it, as well as grow personally, experience different cultures, be alone a lot, read, write, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Go to one of those things where you go into a room where it's pitch black for a week and see what happens and find yourself. Have you heard of that?
God, no.
I forget what you call it.
Like an isolation tank?
Yeah. No, it is. You go, there's places you go and you're actually alone in pitch black for a week.
Yikes. I don't know if I need that much alone. Yeah. I'm a big fan of seeing people, but...
Or you could go to Costa Rica and try an ayahuasca ceremony. Have you tried any of that stuff?
I've not done that, but I would love to.
I almost did that last year.
Really?
But it didn't work. I'm not a big fan of throwing up.
That's true, yeah. Which a lot from what I hear kind of comes out of both ends, yeah.
Oh, that's fun. All right. So I would keep talking to you for an hour, but it's 10 minutes to the hour, and I've got to be at a rehearsal in 10 minutes, which I'm going to be late for already. So we're going to cut this short. But before we do that, tell me, I always ask my guests this question. What have you learned in your life? What's some of the main things you've learned that you now live by?
Let's see. I think strength of relationships, for sure. I had a really rough go of saying goodbye to my to my friends. And I really realized that there's so many people that cared about me. You know, I found myself crying at just random times throughout the day, just thinking about it. You know, as life takes its meandering turns and as stuff gets hard and easy and kind of all the stuff in between, you know, I think strength in relationships and having people long term is just one of the most important things. That, and I've always been a fan of hard work. You know, staying disciplined, things like that. You know, if you have a method that works, stick to it. But yeah, I know.
Not to put words in your mouth, but from something you said earlier, to say yes to life.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a big one too.
I learned that a couple of years ago because I realized that I said no out of fear to a lot of stuff, and I just said I'm going to say yes now.
Yes,
and actually the podcast is one of those things because it was like, oh, I don't know how to do all that shit. How do I do it? How do I learn it? I'm too old. Nobody will listen. Da 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 da.
Absolutely
not true.
Yeah, running towards fear is definitely a growing experience for sure.
All right. Well, at some point here, I'm going to probably have to switch. I'm not going to use Zoom, but there's another app I can buy, and I might do that later this year where I can do Zoom calls and do podcasts. So,
oh, sweet.
If I do that, I expect to catch up with you.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
That would be great. Do a mobile one.
And we'll do part 2. In the meantime, I wish you the best.
Thank you.
You're here for way too short of a time, but I'm glad I got to see you.
Me too.
And I love you, man.
I love you too.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.